Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to have a full post-production filmmaking suite for just $30. Yes way. First, I'll show you which programs we will be using, and then I'll show you how to import, process, and export all from one device. Sound good? Thought so. You'll first want to have Twisted Wave and LumaFusion downloaded onto your device. Prices will be linked in the description. You will then want to export your footage from Filmic Pro. You can do this in a few ways. You can save the videos to your camera roll, the Photos app, export them to iCloud, my preferred method, or you can use a Lightning flash drive. You can then go ahead and open up LumaFusion. Start a new project, go to Sources, and decide where you would like to import your footage from. Just a quick side note, if you are importing from an SSD, you'll have to import them into your camera roll, the Photos app, and then from LumaFusion you'll just click on Photos and they'll all be right there. I'm going to choose iCloud files because that's how I like to do it. Then click Add Link to Folder. Click on it, and then there will be a tab in LumaFusion containing all of your footage. Couldn't be easier. It's pretty much the same as when you import from your camera roll, the Photos app. When you're ready, choose the file by clicking and holding to drag the file into the timeline. Don't make any cuts yet. That comes later. All I do here is just a quick color grade, color correct, or D-flat of my footage. This makes it so much easier because if you start cutting before you correct the footage, you're going to have to apply the same corrections to each individual cut. Yeah, that's just going to make you want to throw your device at the wall, trust me. There is another reason, and we'll get into that in a minute. Once you've corrected the file, you can go ahead and minimize LumaFusion and open up Twisted Wave. If you recorded from a different device, you can either airdrop or import from an SSD like you did in LumaFusion. AirDrop is the easiest route in my opinion. If you go the SSD route, you will need to upload to Dropbox, then download from Dropbox on the device you're editing on. This is not the most convenient method, but you're only paying $10. What do you expect? When you have the audio in the timeline, click the gear in the bottom left corner. This is the effects menu. Almost everything you can do in the macOS version, you can do here. It's not as vast, but it's incredible for an iOS app. You can do everything I covered in Audio Basics 1 and 2. If you haven't watched those, I suggest you go back and watch them so you know what I'm talking about in this video. What I'm going to do here is just show you how to access all of those effects like I did in the previous videos. To access the high and low pass filters, go to the Filters tab. The only difference here is the resonance option. This just adds or minimizes reverb. If there is too much boom, just go down in decibels until it sounds good, and vice versa. To sweep the disruptive frequencies, open up parametric EQ. Like before, set the Q as narrow as possible, raise the gain as much as you can, and sweep across the scale until you find those pesky frequencies. There is no graphic EQ in Twisted Wave on iOS, but here you'll just use parametric EQ to sweeten the audio. It's basically the same thing. Just scroll to the frequencies mentioned in the previous videos, have the Q anywhere from 0.1 to 5, and just increase or decrease as much as you want. You can then compress your file by clicking on the Dynamics Processor tab. Set the threshold, headroom, scroll up, and then hit apply. You will then want to bring down the noise floor as much as possible. To do this, you're going to need to apply downward expansion. Before you do this, just highlight a small portion where there is no dialogue. Enable loop playback, and then look at the number on top of the decibel scale on the right. That reading is the noise floor. Once you have that, select the entire track. Then go back to the Dynamics Processor tab and scroll down to Expansion Threshold. You'll want to set it at 5 decibels less than the noise floor reading. Then play around with the expansion ratio until the noise floor is just barely audible. You can also mess with the attack and release. The attack is just the speed at which the gate opens up for dialogue, and the release is the speed at which the gate closes after someone is done speaking. This will always be different, so I can't give you a one-size-fits-all formula. I'm sorry, I wish I could. Once that's all done, make sure you're in your desired decibel range for export. If not, hit the gear icon and select Amplify at the very top. Input the desired gain, preview it, and then when you're satisfied, hit apply. Hit that gear icon one last time and scroll all the way down to Convert to Mono/Stereo. This will just turn your mono file into a stereo file. Now you're ready for export. Hit the Share button in the top right corner. Scroll down to Format and make sure it's in WAV format. This is the highest quality audio format possible. Then go ahead and scroll down to Open In. A new menu will pop up. Scroll to the right and choose Copy to LumaFusion. Love it. LumaFusion will then automatically reopen. The audio file will be in the Imported folder. Click and hold to drag it into the timeline to sync it with the video. Look for the clap in both files, that big audio spike. That's why you didn't start cutting earlier. Once they are synchronized, you can make cuts to both files simultaneously with the scissor tool by not having any files highlighted. This cuts both files at the same exact point. When you're ready to make a cut, hit the trash can icon. The magnetic timeline will snap the footage after the cut forward. Once you're done editing, hit the share button in the bottom right-hand corner. Choose Movie, where you want to export to, and customize the settings to how you like it. And that's my full post-production filmmaking suite for just $30. In my opinion, this is way more than enough to get you started. And in some cases, all you will ever need. I think it's insane that these apps are so cheap. If you don't mind the workarounds, they're absolutely worth it, and will save you a fortune. And that's the video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell to get notified every time a new video comes out, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.
Yeah, I wanna run off and fly.